We've still got 2 play-in games Friday, but the other 6 first-round NBA playoff series, they are set. I'm going to let you know how to bet 5 of them today here on the appropriately named, of course, Power 5. We've got some great angles to share when it comes to first quarter and first half betting. A 10-0 ATS trend for one favorite that I think may be undervalued. And I'll talk about some significant shifts that we've already seen in the market when it comes to series pricing. Let's get right into it. Magic-Cavaliers. Looking at the WagerTalk.com live odds screen, you can see there has been literally no movement, side or total, for Game 1, which takes place Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern. But, as you can tell from a total of 207.5, odds makers are expecting these games to be pretty low scoring in this series. That's actually not great for Orlando. Admittedly, a great team defensively themselves, but the Magic are just 5-10 straight up this season when facing top 6 defenses, and the Cavs, per Hollinger, are 6th in defensive efficiency. As of right now, I am not convinced that the young Magic, who are not battle-tested in the postseason, are going to consistently get the kind of scoring that you need to win a 7-game series. But Orlando is an underdog, and they're a league-best 49-31-2 ATS. Cleveland, since the All-Star break, they've been a below-average basketball team, although that injuries have played a significant role in that. So where does the betting edge lie in this playoff series? How about the first quarter? Orlando, bottom 3rd in the league in net rating for the first quarter, minus 3.7. And the 3 times they faced Cleveland with a healthy Donovan Mitchell in the lineup during the regular season, the Magic lost the first quarter, all 3 of those games. 2 of them, they were down 17 and 19 points. So for the first 2 games here in Cleveland, I'd look to bet the Cavs in the first quarter. Suns-Timberwolves. This is a series many feel the lower seed is likely to advance. Game 1, 3:30 Eastern in Minnesota on Saturday. And it's for good reason that people are gravitating towards the Suns. They swept the season series with the T-Wolves, all 3 victories by double digits. Per the WagerTalk.com live odds screen, which we'll pull up here again, we've already seen a massive shift in this series price. The Suns opened minus 105. Now they're minus 130 to advance at most shops. Circa, a noted sharper book, even has the Suns minus 145 to win the series. So should we expect Minnesota to just roll over and quit? Hardly. This was the best defensive team in the league per Hollinger by a pretty wide margin. In fact, the gap between the T-Wolves and the number 2 team in defensive efficiency, which was aforementioned Orlando, that was larger than the gap between the number 2 and number 13 team in defensive efficiency. So when it comes to the defensive end of the floor, guys, Minnesota is in a class all by itself. And I believe there's some real value on the T-Wolves in Game 1, who were a perfect 10-0 ATS this season when seeking revenge for a home loss. They just lost to the Suns here at home in the regular season finale. Third series we're going to take a look here on the show today is Lakers-Nuggets. This is a rematch of last year's Western Conference Finals, which saw the Nuggets sweep. Then, the world champs, what'd they do this year against the Lakers? Well, they won all 3 regular season meetings. 8 straight wins over LA going back to January of 2023. Of course, we know how the Lakers earned this opportunity. They beat New Orleans in the play-in tournament back on Tuesday. That was a very upsetting loss for yours truly, obviously. Something worth noting, though, the Lakers, of all the teams still left in this thing, they've got the most double-digit losses this season, 25. However, they've generally been competitive when facing Denver during this 8-game straight-up losing streak to the Nuggets. So here's another first-round matchup where I would look to attack the early portion of the games, at least the first 2 in Denver. This season, the Nuggets, they outscore teams by 5.4 points in the first half. May not sound like a lot, but it kind of is. So Game 1, which is 8:30 Eastern on Saturday, I would look to lay the 4 with Denver in the first half. Moving to Sunday, our 4th series on the docket, Mavs-Clippers. And everybody seems like they're on this Mavs bandwagon, don't they? They are now favored in Game 1 at LA. Dallas closed the regular season on a tremendous run, 24-10 against the number. And really, you could disregard their final 2 games. They didn't even try. So they were 24-8 over a 32-game stretch before that. However, while the Mavs are a good team and they deserve their kudos and they deserve their credit, I got to point out, over the last 20 games, they beat just 1 top 6 seed in the West, and that was Denver at home on a last-second Kyrie Irving made basket. You look at the Clippers, we know what's critical for them, the status of Kawhi Leonard, who is listed as questionable for Game 1 as of this recording. You go back to 2016, Leonard has lost only one playoff series that he finished healthy, and he was up 3-1 in that series, oh, by the way. On the flip side, though, the Mavs, they've got Luka Doncic, obviously, and they've been a tough out with him because they've gone to 6 games in 4 of the 5 series with Luka, and that is notable because the Mavs were underdogs in all 5 of those series. How should you look to bet Mavs-Clippers? Okay, there's a good chance the series is likely going 6 or 7 games, in my opinion, so there's going to be plenty of opportunities to use a modified zigzag theory, especially if the Mavs are off a bad game. I would definitely look to bet the Mavs off a loss in this series. Something worth noting with them, they have been tremendous, Dallas has, defensively since trading for Washington and Gafford. If the Clippers are without Leonard in Game 1, maybe consider betting LA under its team total on Sunday. All right, Pacers-Bucks, we wrap up the Power 5 with another series that we've seen the line flip for Game 1 due to a significant injury, and that is Giannis, listed as doubtful with the calf injury. Pacers now favored to win in Milwaukee on Sunday, and the Giannis injury is even more significant, you might think, because he put up monster numbers in the regular season against an Indiana defense that was dead last in the league in points allowed in the paint. And despite Giannis averaging, get this, 42.2 points on 68% shooting in 5 games versus the Pacers, the Bucks were just 1-4 straight up head-to-head. Yikes. Indiana, who was the top team in the league in field goal percentage, they averaged 128.8 points against Milwaukee in those 5 games, and that's shooting better than 50% only once. So this is a series you're going to want to bet overs. Expect a lot of points. First halves, full game, team totals. Always look over, in my opinion. Neither of these teams are any good defensively. Even if they have to go without Giannis for Game 1, though, Bucks over 116.5 is not a bad bet. Note, I do think there has been a bit of an overreaction in the marketplace when it comes to the Game 1 spreads for not only this Indiana-Milwaukee series, but that Mavs-Clippers one I just talked about as well. If either road team loses Game 1, Pacers or Mavs, I would consider coming back with them as a dog in Game 2. That's going to do it for the Power 5 here on WagerTalk TV. All of my NBA best bets for this weekend can be found at wt.buzz/BP. As a reminder, 67% in the NBA this month, hitting 58% overall going back to last year's finals. You can also follow me on X, formerly Twitter, at Bryan Power _wins. If you already haven't done so, go ahead, smash that like button for this video. If you like what you heard, feel free to leave any comments down below and I'll be sure to reply. And make sure you have subscribed to the WagerTalk YouTube channel so you don't miss any of our exclusive sports betting content. Until next time, let's cash some tickets.